What is up, YouTube? My name's Anna, and this is Anna Does Money, a channel where I talk about money making and money saving strategies, as well as my personal debt recovery journey. It has been just about 3 months since I've embarked on my journey to pay off over $27,000 in credit card debt. Ouch. I haven't shared the details of my May financial report and how much of debt I've paid off, but if you've seen any of my other debt update videos, you'll probably notice that I have a bit of a problem with keeping to my budget. So in the month of May, about halfway through, I started to use the Mint app, which is a budgeting app that I have reviewed. I'll put that here. So now it's the beginning of June and I'm gonna set up a new budget in my Mint app and I'm gonna take you along with me. Since this app automatically puts in all my purchases directly into the system and is keeping track throughout the entire month through all my credit cards and debit cards, this should help me stay on track a bit better versus what I was doing before, where I was just budgeting at the beginning of the month and then seeing how I did at the end of the month. And I use the term budget loosely because I wasn't doing much budgeting at all and I was just kind of winging it. Okay, let's start with my income. So if I go into the monthly tab and I click June budget, and then I'll go into income. It pre-populates from last month. So last month I made $4,377. I'm getting paid twice in this month of June as well. So I'm not gonna change that, that stays the same. I don't really expect to make anything extra. If I do, that's just gonna be a bonus, but I'm not going to budget for it. So my target is to put an extra $1,000 every single month towards my debt payoff. This is on top of my minimum credit card payments and my minimum loan payments. So if we work backwards from that, my maximum expenses should be $3,377. If I go over that, there's no way I'm gonna put that $1,000 a month towards debt repayment. Okay, let's go into the expenses. Typically, I try to keep my transportation budget around $200 a month. I take the train to work and it's about $10 each way. I try to only go into work once or twice a week, but I cap that at maximum $200 a month for transportation. This month, I actually know I'm only gonna have to go in once or twice, maybe 3 times max throughout the entire month. So I know I can decrease the public transportation cost. I'm gonna put that at 60, and that's really helpful because it is gonna be my dad's birthday and Father's Day, and I want to go home and spend some time with my family. My family lives about 4 hours away. I split the driving with my partner. Usually we each pay a tank of gas each way, so I'll fill it on the way there, he'll fill it on the way back. So I've just put in $60 for that, so my transportation budget will be $120, which is less than it usually is. Okay, if I go into bills and utilities, I don't think there's gonna be any change with my internet. I'm gonna leave that as $45. Mobile phone, I'm also gonna leave that as $45. Utilities, don't think there's gonna be much changes. Actually, I think it's gonna be a little bit less than that this month because we already paid installation fees on last month. So it should be a little bit cheaper, but we'll see. Okay, now it's my most dreaded section, and that's subscriptions. This is a ridiculous amount to be paying for subscriptions. You shouldn't be doing this. The only reason I am willing to pay for $142 a month for subscriptions is because these are all considered business subscriptions. So I'm trying to invest in my future, and I'm hoping by paying for an editing software, paying for Canva to do my thumbnails, paying for Epidemic Sound to have good music, copyright-free music in my videos. That's gonna be an investment in my future. I also have a Shopify store, so I'm going to keep that subscription going. So it adds up quickly, it's about $142, but I'm hoping it'll be an investment, so I'm just gonna leave that, forget about it, it's fine, I fit it in the budget. So my student loan doesn't change, I have to pay $500 a month towards it, that's the minimum payment. The one luxury I'm allowing myself is my Spotify account, and that's $5 a month, so that's under entertainment. I don't plan on spending anything else on entertainment. That's it. We're not going out, we're not buying booze, we're gonna minimize all that. Luckily, or unluckily, we're still in a lockdown where I am, so nothing's really open anyway. Okay, now I'm super embarrassed to say that I am still paying bank fees. I basically had a student account with Scotiabank since I was a little kid. And because it was a student account, I didn't pay any fees, but now that I'm working full time and I'm not a student, I have to pay $16 a month, which is ridiculous because you're putting your money into the bank. They're actually investing your money and using your money, and you're paying them for them to use your money. It's stupid. I don't even know how they get away with it. Anyway, I am making a switch to a free bank. I'm actually in the middle of doing that right now. As soon as I can switch over my direct deposit from work and also the loans which automatically come out of that account, then I can close the expensive account. So hopefully this will be the last month of that $16. Okay, the financial charge section you might be a bit confused about. I've just lumped together any interest charges that come up on my credit card. Yeah, $400 is just towards the interest, not even paying principal balance on my credit cards. Ouch. That's what happens when you rack up $20,000 of credit card debt. Was 27, but now we're down to 20. So I am trying to move some of that credit card debt to a 0% interest credit card. So that should decrease. And as I'm paying off the credit cards, those interest charges should also go down. But right now I'm gonna leave it as $400 a month. Personal loan, I also can't change. It's about $502 a month. Well, it's not about, it is $502 a month. Okay, food and dining, I've pretty much lump summed both groceries and dining out together. I used to budget just $200 a month for groceries, but then I realized that I'm okay as long as I keep all of my food budget underneath $200. So say I spend $150 on groceries and I spend $50 on eating out, that's fine with me. And I know that this is an okay amount. Even though last month I shared that I went over my food budget, that's not typical for me. Usually I do just fine with $200 a month. I think that's a perfectly fine amount. Okay, and then the last sort of thing on here is mortgage and rent. So my rent is $1,200 a month. That's stable as well. But this month, I know that I have, like I mentioned, Father's Day and my dad's birthday coming up. So I need to get him a gift. Usually I way overspend on what I pay for gifts. So I'm not gonna do that this month. This month, I've taken a look at my entire budget. So looks like by the amount that my expenses are right now, if we wanna stay under that $3,377, that would let me put $1,000 towards debt repayment. I can only buy a gift that is $50 max, that's it. So I'm gonna cap myself at that, and I'm sure I can still get my dad a really lovely gift that he will appreciate without breaking the bank and still staying within my budget. And you know what? Maybe some of these other things, like maybe I won't spend as much public transportation or utilities, and we'll even have a little bit of extra cash at the end of the month. But you probably notice that there's not a lot of wiggle room. I've pretty much maxed out that $3,000 and a bit that I have. So if something unexpected comes up, then I'll have to eat into that $1,000 I was gonna go towards paying off my debt. This is just sort of how my life is right now. I'm gonna try and rework some of my finances to have that not happen in the future. But this month at least I'll try my best not to dip into that. Judging by how some of my last months went, if I can at least stick to this budget, if I'm gonna challenge myself to stick to this budget and I'll do it, that'll already be a win in my books. Sometimes it's about just little wins, you know? Like if you're already overspending, at least try and meet it. Don't go to the other extreme because you probably won't make it and then you'll be discouraged. Anyway, that's it for my June budget. Thanks so much for watching. Wish me luck and I wish you luck with your June budgets. If you've liked this video, please leave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Otherwise, I hope to see you next time on Anna Does Money. Peace out, dudes.